Okay, I'm going to record this. So I don't normally send out recordings of sessions, so only to people that attend. So if you email me, janet@powertochange.me.uk, then I will send you this recording. So for treating a craving, then first most important thing, clear polarity or balanced polarity. So you can either just do the side of your hand. I just think, why not do the whole triangle? And index finger and collarbones nice and firm, and under the nose, under the lip, under the nose again, and index finger on the other hand, and side of the hand. So thinking about whatever it is, the first sequence we're going to do is quite simply collarbone, under eye, collarbone. And I always do both hands for this. So do collarbone, just visualize it, taste it, smell it, think about how you feel before you do the whatever it is. Under both eyes. And you can see I'm tapping for a little bit longer than normal. And collarbone. Now that's the first sequence, just that. So if that's coming down, then we're going to do all the sequences because I haven't got to rush off at 11 o'clock. So we'll do what we need to do. So then you're going to do the gamut spot here, the triple warmer. So put your hand flat if it's more comfortable. Close your eyes, open your eyes, down to one corner, other corner, circle up and round, and other way, and hum. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hum. And thinking about that, that craving, that feeling. What you might notice when you tap with both hands is that you start doing it together and then they get their own little rhythm. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And collarbone. So if that sequence is working for you, then you repeat it. If that sequence isn't working, then the next one would be the standard anxiety. So again, close your eyes, think about, tune in to whatever it is. Think about that craving. And then you're going to do under your eyes first. Under your arm. Under your eye again. And collarbone. Okay, so if that sequence starts to bring the sub down, then you do, as we all will. By the way, even if you haven't got a craving, just taking yourself through these sequences will not do you any harm whatsoever, because they're all about anxiety and tension and everything else. So, so now we do the gamut sequence. So we're going to close your eyes, open your eyes, down from one corner to the other, circle up and round the other way, and hum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And under your eyes. So this might even be a craving to go and see someone, about, you know, fear of being stuck indoors and craving going out. So this is, you know, it really depends. Wherever you tune your thought, that's where you'll get the result. Nice few deep breaths. And under your arm. And under your eye again. So again, if that's the one, you just repeat that sequence. So the third sequence, remember there's 4, the third sequence that works well for cravings is you start under your arm. This is a point in TFT that's used for visualization. So sometimes if I'm doing a smoker, for example, I'll say, I want you to visualize just at the point where it's there, just before you're about to take a drag of the cigarette. So this is, if you're using visualization, this is a good one. So we're using the same points all the time, just a different order. So under the eye, and collarbone. And if that's coming down, do the gamut. So just a little bit quicker, close, open, corner, corner, circle, circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And under the eye, under the arm rather. And under the eyes. And yeah. Cool. So just calibrating in if you're starting to feel a shift in anything. And then the last one starts under the eye. So just notice if that craving, that desire is changing now. Close your eyes. Just feel the energy of the thought. See if it's changing as you just close your eyes and tap under your eyes. Nice deep breaths. Now, collarbone. Under your arm. You can do under both arms like we do on the 4 thumbs. And collarbone again. And gamut. Close, open, corner, corner, circle, circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And repeat. Close your eyes. Just notice the energy of that feeling, if it's lifting now or changing. And collarbones. And under your arms, one or both. I like to do both on this one. And collarbones again. Now, if you feel that that has come right down, then I want you to just keep 2 fingers on the collarbone, press into that triple warmer there in the gamut spot, close your eyes and just feel the peace. Now, as you do this, visualize yourself the moment before you used to do that behavior, not doing it. So let's say you're going to bite your nails or something. See your hand coming towards your face and stop it, soften it, and feel your arm going down and feeling a sense of peace. See yourself not eating the chocolate, not putting it in your mouth, and just getting an overwhelming sense of peace. That feeling, you all know what it's like. You've all had times in your life where you've made a good decision. So think about a good decision that you've made now. It can be something really small, like we bought this house, or we decided, you know, I did this, or I took that job, or whatever. So think about a time in your life. It doesn't even have to be a big decision. Might be, yeah, I bought, I don't know, I bought the best trainers ever and I've just run so much better. It doesn't have to be a big decision. Just think about a feeling that you had when you made a right decision, and close your eyes and really get that feeling. And take that feeling and spin it in your body, wherever it starts, in your chest, your stomach. Imagine it starts to spin like a Catherine wheel. That lovely sense of certain that you made the right decision. And just take a few seconds to really fill your body with that feeling. So like a Catherine wheel sends sparks. Have that Catherine wheel send that feeling like you've made the right decision to the top of your head, all the way down to the tip of your toes. And when you feel it everywhere in your body, see yourself not doing the whatever it was, not lifting your hand to your face, not doing whatever, and making the decision to put your arm down and feel deep inside a sense of comfort that you've made the right decision, a sense of knowing every time you make that decision, that's the right decision. And just repeat that, put that on a nice gentle loop. So make it a nice, soft, peaceful movie. And just watch it and then rewind it and watch it again. And you might want to change hands and do the other collarbone. And just watch this really, even put it in a soft focus if it helps. See yourself not doing it and feeling calm and knowing that's the right decision. A really good decision that you feel, as my mum used to say, you can feel that in the heart of your bottom, all the way down, really a heartfelt feeling. This is a good decision. This is the right decision. A decision that's so good that you can make it over and over again and get this feeling every time you make the right decision. I remember when I helped someone not eat pepperami of all things once from a vending machine, and she said to me, I've never forgotten it, I never realised how good not eating something could make me feel. So that's great if it's a food, but if it's a behaviour, let's say nail biting or whatever, just think, I never realised how good not doing it would make me feel. Because if you want a neurological buy-in, you've got to use emotion. So just create the most amazing neurological buy-in now, and pressing nice and firm and feeling really calm. And you can obviously keep going. But what I want to do as well is another one. So we'll just relax that for now. So you can check in and notice. In fact, let me just, Joy, could you just unmute everybody for me for a second, just for some feedback before we continue. So does anybody want to comment? Anybody notice a shift or anything from those sequences?
I did. I felt like a real, like I was moving. I can't explain it. Like I was whole, like drifting around, but almost the thought, even though I tried to have the one, I can't, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes perfect sense. And actually, when I'm doing a TFT treatment, the feedback I get more than anything else, 2 words, it's gone. It's gone.
Mm.
That's a nice feeling. Cool. Okay, so anyone else got anything to contribute?
Janet, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Can I just ask you, I'm just intrigued on this thing. I never thought I could feel so good not doing that.
Yes.
I thought the brain never translated a negative.
Well,
so,
that's exactly what I'm coming on to next. So hold that thought.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's exactly what. Were you on the session the day we did the temporal tap and language?
I can't remember if that, but I've had
Okay, well, I'm going to go over
I wanted
it.
to ask you that question before, but I've
Yes.
not been
Okay,
able
well,
to.
that's a really, you could not have timed a question more perfectly, so thank you. So I'm going to go on to that. Okay, Joy, so I'll go through it and then I'll get Joy to unmute you again afterwards. Okay, so if we can go back to... I'm not finishing at 11 because I'm finished yet and I haven't got any others to video now, so let's do it properly. So, brilliant question. So the language is obviously very important and very influential, and without going down the whole rabbit hole of you are not your voice, which you're not. Your voice is a mechanism, it's not you. So when I look at this cup, I'm not this cup, I'm the one looking at it. So when I'm hearing my voice, I'm not my voice, I'm the one hearing it. So it's a mechanism. Even though it's internal, it isn't you. It's a mechanism that allows you to interact with the world around you, but you don't have to do what it says. So if I said to you, right, wherever you are now, get your internal voice to say, take off all your clothes and run naked up and down the street swearing like a trooper, you know, I'm pretty sure none of you would do it. Even if you got your internal voice to say, do it, you wouldn't do it, because some part of you knows that you're not your voice actually, and you don't have to do what it says. But it's easy to do what it says, but you don't have to. So when it comes to language and in hypnosis training, NLP training, every training I ever did until I did energy medicine, all said, you must always state something in the positive. You must always state something. You must never use a negative tense. But what's interesting, and again, when I did the 4-day course with Ian McGilchrist on the difference between the right and the left brain, linguistically, although our language centre is in our left brain more, we do respond to different language patterns in our right brain and in our left brain. And if you think about it, it's, of course we do. Why can we assume that one language pattern works for both hemispheres when both hemispheres have such different characteristics? So your left brain focuses well, responds well to language that's in a negative positive. So with your left brain, you would say, I no longer want, let's say it's to bite your nails, to have a cigarette, insert whatever. I no longer want to blah, blah, blah. Now, we're always taught, or, you know, traditionally the teaching is never say what you don't want. Don't think about blue bananas. But in this case, it is actually quite relevant. So we're going to do a tapping sequence in a minute on each side of your head. And when you do your left side, your phrase is going to be, I no longer want da, 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 whatever it is. So now it doesn't have to be a craving. It can be anything you no longer want. You know, I no longer want to feel anxious. You know, whatever. But just start it with I no longer want. So it has to be present tense and start with I no longer want. And your left brain responds well to that language. Now, your right brain, remember in your right brain, it's always now. Your left brain has a linear way of processing time. So in your left brain, you have our human construct of time, which is past, present, future. Your right brain is much more cosmic in that it's always now. It's always now. So whether you're imagining something from the future, remembering something from the past, it's always right now. So we're making both present tense. Okay, so that allegiance between the two time-wise does need to be the same. And what we're doing in our right brain is stating how we do feel. So instead of saying what we don't want, we're not saying what we do want, we're saying now we have it. So you've got to think of the opposite. So let's say it's I no longer want to feel anxious. I no longer crave cigarettes, whatever it is. On your right side, you in a positive tense, you would put how you feel. I feel calm and in control. I feel calm and in control. So that's what you want, as if you already feel it. So the two words that you're going to begin that sentence with are going to be I feel, or I am calm and in control. Doesn't matter. Present tense, as if you already own that feeling, that sensation, or whatever it is now. So once you've got your two phrases, and this is why I'm going to record this and send it to you so that you can just play around with those a little bit. Once you've got your two phrases, you might find that, you know, if you repeat it, you mix it up a little bit, try different things. So if I'm working with someone to stop smoking or something, the phrase is probably going to stay the same because that's a very fixed habit. But if I'm working with someone who's got anxiety, then that might change a bit, because they might be anxious about any number of different things. So I no longer feel anxious when I leave the house might be, I don't know, I no longer feel anxious when I'm on the phone, whatever. So that might change a little bit. But how you want to feel, I feel calm and in control, or I am calm and in control, but it's got to be you owning your desired feeling. How do you want to feel instead of that? The topic for today is cravings, so that's why I'm using calm and in control, because when people have cravings, they always feel that sense of I can't control it, I have to do it. So that's why control is such a powerful phrase when you're working with cravings. And please bear in mind that I'm generalizing, because not only am I not working with you one-to-one, but I'm working in a group and I can't see everybody. So I'm not able to adjust it as much as I might if we were working in, you know, doing a workshop in the same room. So it's going to be yours to take and play with. So once you've got your statement, you make your negative positive when you tap the left side. Now, I don't know if I'm flipped or whatever, but anyway, trust me, this is the left side of my head. So you just make like a cup with your hands, and you're going to tap about 5 times, starting off with your little finger on your temple, and you're literally going round. It's called a temporal tap, because you go round your temporal lobe. So you literally go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you do those 4 or 5 taps, you make your negative statement, and then you switch to the right, and I feel, or I am calm and in control. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it 5 times each side, and we're going to do 3 cycles. And if it's a stubborn thing, you might want to do 5 cycles, or just do a couple of cycles every morning, just to embed whatever it is you want to change. So get your negative statement. I'm just going to do generic. I no longer feel anxious. But as I say, if you're doing it for a specific craving, you might say, I no longer bite my nails. I no longer, or whatever it is you do. Okay, so let's just do a side hand, a couple of deep breaths. Side of the other hand. And let's start on the left side. I no longer feel anxious. 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 I think that's 4 or 5. Switch to the right side. I am calm and in control. 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 Left side. I no longer feel anxious. I no longer feel anxious. I no longer. I'm going to soften my voice a bit, because I'm aware you'll all be saying different things. So let's just do left side and right side. So you want to say it out loud, really. So make your positive statement on the right side. Left side. And right side. And relax. Okay, so Joy, if you want to unmute for me, that would be fabulous. So that is the temporal tap, and as I say, you can adapt that to anything, and it does make perfect sense because the hemispheres are totally different characteristics. So that's another one that you can do, and that's one that you would want to do. So if I've worked with someone for a craving or stop smoking or something, I would encourage them to just take a minute or so to do that every day for however many days after. You know, because often people will come for a session, they go away, that's it, they don't smoke, they don't, whatever the behaviours stop now. But I always think it's really nice to give someone something so that they've got the confidence to make sure it's gone, or if it does come back, to make sure it doesn't come back, to just have some sort of ownership moving forward, so that there's a part of the brain that satisfies the part going, but I've had this for years, how can just that one thing stop it? And if you say, well, you do this every day and it will make sure, that kind of satisfies that question a bit. And even if it's not needed, if the behaviour's already gone, it's still going to make you feel more empowered and more in control and know that you've made the right decisions. So that's another one that's really good for cravings. And then you could also use, staying with language, I showed how many weeks ago, the correcting polarity with the statements, the side of the hand and under your nose. So you might want to tap your, let's see, left side of the brain, right side. Let's do, so you might tap your left hand with your right hand. So right hand is controlled by left side of the body. And just make the statements to correct reversal. So it might be, if you're putting it in the negative tense, I no longer have this craving, or I am over this craving, I completely over this craving. Whatever it is, there isn't one that will work with everyone. So if I'm just doing this as a generic, so if you feel that you've had a shift of whatever craving or anxiety is gone now, then say, you want to say out, in fact, Joy, can you mute everybody so that everyone can say it out loud? Sorry to keep asking you to do things.
It's all right.
Especially when you're supposed to be woman. Okay, so everyone tap the side of your hand. So imagine that craving, that anxiety, whatever it was, has gone. So you name it. So I'm just going to say this feeling. You might want to change it to this craving or be more specific. So you're going to say, I want to be over this feeling. I want to be completely over this feeling. I am over this feeling. I am completely over this feeling. It's safe to be over this feeling. It's safe to be completely over this feeling. I deserve to be over this feeling. I deserve to be completely over this feeling. It's time to be over this feeling. It's time to be completely over this feeling. And then change hands. I want to be over this feeling. I want to be completely over this feeling. I will be over this feeling. I will be completely over this feeling. I am over this feeling. I am completely over this feeling. It's safe to be over this feeling. It's safe to be completely over this feeling. I deserve to be over this feeling. I deserve to be completely over this feeling. I'm ready to be over this feeling. I'm ready to be completely over this feeling. I want to be even better. I will be even better. I am even better. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Now place your hands on your heart. Get that feeling of making a great decision back. Get that feeling. And now imagine you've already made the decision to not do that. And not doing it feels so good. And imagine not doing it fills you with a feeling that literally comes up like the best butterflies, full of joy and control and peace. And imagine how good it feels not doing it. Just literally from your center, from your heart, your whole body, imagine every cell in your body rejoicing because you've stopped that behavior now. And it gives you this feeling instead as a physical thank you. So every time you don't do it, your body says, thank you, with this feeling. This is how your body says, thank you. And all you've got to do to get this feeling is not do whatever it is that you've stopped doing now. And your body will thank you with this feeling. So just run a few mind movies of not doing it. And each time you get a wave of this feeling, each time you don't do it, you get this feeling instead. And the more that you hold that and visualize and run it through, the better it gets. There we go. So, how was that? That's a bit of a rapid overview of cravings, but that's the kind of way that I would work with people with cravings. So I hope you found that useful.
Very.
Amazing. Brilliant.
Good.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. So this week we're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then after that I'm going to just do once a week because I just haven't realised quite how tired I got until this weekend, and suddenly having not to do anything Facebook or this was just, I thought, oh, I probably could do with a break. So I'm going to do once a week. Probably Amanda wants me to do a Thursday, I think. So probably keep it at the same time, but I will send you a thing. So my plan is for this week, unless anybody's got requests, which I'm very open to, because the cravings was a request, addictive behaviour. So if there's anything else, you're welcome. So my plan, if there aren't any cravings, requests, put my teeth in. If there aren't any requests, then my plan is to, on Wednesday, whoops, hold on. Just stop the recording.